We don't know who they are. There's one coming now.
I come in peace.
Nanu nanu.
Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are Excellent Little Podcasts.
Presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Yep, and I think we are doing a podcast today, Mitch, because we are now doing episode 96 and now going to be a series, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion?
Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion. Brief summary, Fury and Talos tried to stop the Skrulls who have infiltrated the highest spheres of the Marvel Universe.
That was lovely, Zach.
Thank you, IMDb.
Studio brought to you by Marvel Studios, Disney, Disney Plus, which means we are Disney cast members. Therefore, we do not speak for the brand or the company. Our thoughts and opinions are our own. Director, various. Screenplay, writer's room. Duration, about 47 minutes, an average episode length, and it is 6 episodes in total. So, Zach, since I'm still talking, you want me to split up the episode?
Absolutely. Fire away, my friend.
All right, so we're about to enter our non-spoiler section. Well, Zach will give his thoughts, I will give mine, and this is my streaming pick. We will talk about the cast and other non-spoiler things. Then Zach will break down our review system, and we will both review the series. And then we will sound an alarm, and then we will enter our spoiler section. Without further ado, Zach, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this thing sucked. Oh God, what was that? Okay, because here's the thing. The idea of Secret Invasion is really damn good. The idea that anybody can be a Skrull, and we spent so much time with so many people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so you could have a very much who is who going on, and then you introduce practically in a whole new set of characters with a few legacy characters, and you just take liberty after liberty with the whole idea of Secret Invasion. Holy shit, was that not Secret Invasion? Mitch, what are your thoughts, since this is your streaming pick, like you said?
It blew. It was not good.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so bad. Like, you hit the nail right on the head, because the trailers like made it seem like, oh, this is going to be a really interesting series.
I was skeptical, but I was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, but this show just ain't it. It's another airball on the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we've been having lately with Phase 4 and Phase 5. But yeah, this stank. But let's go into the cast, and we're going to talk about the stars. Question mark. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as Talos.
Yeah.
We're going to group them together because they share the screen a lot in this series, which you kind of see in the trailers. I really like them both, but you can't go wrong with Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, obviously.
True.
And I really like Ben Mendelsohn as Talos from Captain Marvel. But yeah, I think they played off each other really well. They kind of gave it a sense of a buddy cop comedy. But yeah, I really enjoyed their screen presence in this show. Kind of made it a little bit watchable, but without these two, this show is garbage disposal for me. But what'd you think of those two?
Yeah, when they were on screen, it was when the series was at its most watchable, I would say. Even better when they were together.
Yeah.
However, even their performances were kind of like, all right, we're going to give it, but we know that something's rough in this production. So even their performances were not even the best that they've been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like,
Right.
I very much prefer Ben Mendelsohn as Talos back in Captain Marvel, and I very much prefer Nick Fury from like Avengers,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Like, those performances were a lot better than what was given on this one. The next one that we're going to go ahead and talk about is going to be Emilia Clarke, who played Gaia.
She was good. I enjoyed her.
She was decent. There were some really great moments that she had, and where she could actually be Emilia Clarke as she is as an actress, because she's a phenomenal actress. But there were just some moments where it was just like,
What?
oh my God, you are wooden, and oh my God, they gave you a terrible choice to try. And I just feel so bad for her, because it's Emilia Clarke, and you completely wasted an actress on a very terrible character.
I think it just goes back to the script, because the script for these episodes were subpar at best. And one thing that you and I have discussed, you can't make good anything with bad scripts. And I think that goes to the actors' performances.
Yep.
They can't do anything with bad scripts. They just can't.
Nope.
They cannot do it. So I chalk this up as not bad performances, just bad script writing. But this one is a really bad performance.
With a really bad script, being
Kingsley
Ben Adir
as
playing
Gravik.
Gravik.
He sucked.
Yeah,
He was just bad.
It wasn't a great performance, and it wasn't a great written role. I liked the idea of the character in concept, but execution just failed all around. It just wasn't good.
No. All right. There's our cast.
That's the cast.
We're not off to a good start. So now we're going to enter our non-spoiler section. The first one is the obvious. Fury gets the spotlight after 15 years.
Which finally,
but
he's been missing for a while.
But this ain't it.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry, Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
The thing is here, seeing you again makes me go like, okay,
there's hope.
thank God the Marvels is coming, because I feel like you're going to have a lot better of a time and a lot better role in the Marvels than you did on this, which sucks because this was your project.
Right,
So I really do feel bad for you, pal.
I do too. Yeah. And speaking of, this is based on the Secret Invasion run is in comics. And basically what that comic is, anybody that could be a Skrull is a Skrull. Like Captain America is a Skrull. I think a few other characters are Skrulls. I need to read that series. But this is loosely based on that comic run. It had bits in the opening episodes, but this ain't it.
No, y'all. I really have to say, because I have read the first run of Secret Invasion, and this is really a spit on the name of Secret Invasion, because what Secret Invasion really should be, it's an Avengers level threat. And the fact, again, like how I said in my first thoughts, you can't just spout Secret Invasion and then introduce a whole new cast of characters, because we don't know who these characters are. So if it's shown that they're a Skrull, we go, okay. The point of Secret Invasion was to go, oh my God, Captain America was a Skrull this entire time?
Right.
Like, that's the point of it. And the fact that you only had about 4 or 5 legacy characters.
Not even 4 or 5. Barely, yeah.
That's it.
It's
it
not
hurts the show.
Well, and it's not, like you said, it's not an Avengers level threat as they made it out to be in the trailers. It was just basically kind of it's a threat. What are we gonna do? And then there was no stakes.
And the later, as you go, you find out that even the whole Secret Invasion is not even the biggest threat of the actual series itself. They throw in not a complete spoiler, but they throw in a MacGuffin at the very end to make it everything that's just happened completely useless.
Right.
So it just was poorly written and very loosely based on the comics.
All right, so now
then leads.
It goes into our last segment of non-spoilers. Is the show didn't know what it wanted to be. Like we and I were talking before we started recording this. We were just like, okay, what kind of show was this? We couldn't figure it out. And it
wanted to be a spy thriller, but it then went really big on what's going on with the Skrulls, and then there was really nothing thrilling about many of these scenes. Then it tried to be a drama, which those parts felt so just out of left field that the entire pacing stops.
There were a few near buddy cop comedies.
It didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah, and that's the real disappointing part of it is, and now Zach and I, we are no developers. We're not screenwriters. We're not directors. We would love to be, but we aren't that. We're simply film critics, if you will. But I think you and I would at least know, hey, what kind of show are we trying to do?
Yeah.
We for example, with this channel that we have, we know what we're trying to do. We know what we want to give you, the audience.
Yeah.
This show did not know what it wanted to give to the audience.
Not at all. Not at all.
And that's where it all of a sudden killed it. And with that,
we should go ahead and move on to our review section, my friend.
What's the system?
Yep. So we are splitting our things into 3 different categories. We're going to start at the bottom, starting with Feed It to the Dog, where we didn't care for it, but you should still see it to form your own opinion. Yeah. Then we move on up to Cook a Little More, which is our middle tier, where we feel like the movie or series needed a little bit of extra seasoning, maybe an actor change, director change, script change, needed to cook a little more to get up to our higher tier category, which is Eat It Up, where we really enjoyed the film or series and we believe that you should see it in its best format. Mitch, since you were wonderful and did wonderful things, could you go ahead, and since this was your streaming pick, what is your review for Secret Invasion?
I'm going to have to clean my glasses off for this one. Yes, this was my streaming pick. And having said that, and after watching the show and thinking about it, oh my God. This is the closest thing to a Phantom category. In the bottom Phantom category. Yeah. This is a Feed It to the Dog. Because the script was not good. The actors did their best, but there was still some scenes where I was just like, where's your line delivery? Where are the stakes? And it doesn't set up anything for future Marvel shows or movies. It doesn't, because Secret Invasion, that's a big deal. Like, what are the ramifications of it? With this show, I don't care what the ramifications are because the stakes weren't high.
Yep.
And that is therefore why I'm giving it a Feed to the Dog. Zach, what is yours?
I am going to bring out the Phantom category. This was a freaking garbage disposal of a show I have ever seen in a while. Because as much as the actors tried their best, it still didn't help what all eventually just happened. And like you said, this show started and ended, and we haven't moved an inch forward in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You could completely disregard this movie or this show and not be lost at all. There is no ramifications whatsoever in the MCU with this show,
which is a shame.
That is a shame. And to be honest, against even the entire inception of the MCU.
Yeah.
So, no, absolutely not. Garbage disposal of the film.
All right. So we're about to hit our spoiler section. So before we go there, leave us a like, subscribe, email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com, follow our other sites such as Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And we have a question for you in the comments. What is your favorite MCU Disney Plus series?
WandaVision, hands down.
It's low-key for me.
That's a good one.
Ready for season 2? Ready for season 2. All right. So go ahead and answer that. If you need to leave, bye. So we're going into our next section. What's the spoilers?
Yeah, I'm not even going to give this.
It can be the crappy AI opening. Which that was terrible.
All right, whatever. But we're in our spoiler section. So let's go ahead and talk about the MacGuffin that I was talking about earlier. The hero's blood serum bullshit that happened at the end of the series was so goddamn awful and literally puts. We've had gods in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but now literally, Guy is a god. Like a god. Because
she takes a serum that has a combined hero's blood of Hulk, Captain Marvel, everybody. Because Fury at the end of the Endgame battle had a lot of his Skrull lackeys gather blood, DNA on the battlefield. And she takes the serum, and so does Gravik. And Gaia kills Gravik after taking this blood serum. And I'm just like, what?
This is universe breaking, y'all. Literally, this is not good. I understand what they were trying to do is base it on Super Skrulls, because the thing with Skrulls is that they can take over a little bit of your memories and your appearance, but they can't take over your superpowers.
Right.
Super Skrulls can.
Right.
So they have the ability to copy the heroes to a point. Still only have a little bit of memory, a little more than your average Skrull, but only still a little bit of memory and powers. This is not it, y'all. You cannot have every single power at your will. This is literally breaking the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I would hate to say it, but literally it would be in Marvel's best interest to just cut the series out entirely just on this fight and this serum alone.
Like a retcon it maybe in some
completely retcon.
Well, and also Maria Hill and Talos are killed. And I didn't care.
Sucks.
And that's the thing. I didn't care.
Both death scenes. Talos had the better death scene than Maria Hill did, which sucks because Maria Hill is a great character.
Yeah. And she's killed in the first episode.
And then Talos, he at least dies saving the president. But like, again, as the movie kept on trying to like honor that sacrifice, it then took 2 steps backwards in terms of like, well, then he really didn't help because they ended back up in the hands of the Skrulls again. So like, I was like,
really?
Like, y'all, like, whatever. Just like
whatever.
Terrible scripting.
Fury has a Skrull wife.
That I liked.
I did like it too.
That's the one thing I liked. That's the drama section that just came out of nowhere. But that was actually enjoyable. And every single time that she was on screen and he was on screen, and even when Gaia even comes in with her, those parts were actually enjoyable.
Yeah. Rhodey and Everett K. Ross are Skrulls. And here's the thing. There's a question going around is how long has Rhodey been a Skrull? Some people have said that he's been a Skrull since Civil War. I beg to differ on this one.
Oh, yeah? What's your
I
theory?
think it's going to be after Endgame. And the reason why I say that is because he is still paralyzed from the waist down when he is rescued.
Correct.
And everyone's like, oh, he was working on the walking thingamajig. And do you remember in Winter Soldier and Falcon where he's like, oh, I just had surgery? What surgery?
Yeah.
So I get the feeling it's right after Endgame. And everyone says, oh, but he's still wearing his gown. What if he was taken away during that surgery? So
Which is possible because
I think it's after Endgame.
That is possible, especially because if you remember because he was there at the battle, before everyone was kind of like snapped back.
Yeah.
And he had to leave his suit because his suit was and he went, canopy, and the suit unlocks. And he was really badly injured from that. So that does give some credence that he would have to go to the hospital after that battle.
Yeah, so I think it's after Endgame. Everett K. Ross, now that is a little, sure. Whatever. And Fury leaves Earth again because the president...
Which then makes it, again, completely freaking useless.
And because the president proceeds to have a manhunt for all the Skrulls. And the show sucked, y'all.
We are in no different spot. Literally.
Compared to when the show started.
Compared to when the show started. Again, secret agency was looking for the Skrulls. Oh my gosh, now everyone knows about it. But... at the same time, it felt like almost pretty much everyone knew that Skrulls were around, with the exception of the dumbass president. And Fury was in space, which we already knew.
But what's the point of having
What the fuck point was the show?
Right.
What was it?
There was none. All right, y'all.
That's Secret Invasion. That's it. Like, y'all, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I don't even care about this thing anymore because, like, I don't want to spend any more time on this show.
On that note, he's Zach, I'm Mitch, and this has been Excellent Little Podcasts.